G'day everybody, where's Wally here? Well, I've just been bashing my head against Antonio's 2-hour talk fest. Man, why do these flatties have to yatter on and on and on and on and on and say nothing? Oh well. Look, I was going to point out how many times Antonio said H-U-D very carefully, because I know he didn't want to mess it up this time.
H-U-D.
Or just how many times he said he didn't know. Well, I'll do that.
I don't know.
Or when he keeps playing Santa, and that's a total non sequitur. Look, just because Santa is fake, Antonio, doesn't mean the ISS is fake, or whatever you're trying to say is fake. That's called a non sequitur. Anyway, someone gave Antonio a P1000. Whoa, that's nice for you, mate. And guess what he's going to do with it? You can't guess. He's going to do a D-marble. He's going to go to the Arctic Circle and film some 24-hour suns. Why? The Arctic sun is the only thing that flatties and globies totally agree on. My goodness, what a waste of time. Look, Antonio, if you want some 24-hour suns, I've got a mate, Robert Schwarz, even Benjamin, down there in the South Pole, who will happily show us a few. They've got like 3, 4, 5, 6 of these already. 5 days of 24-hour sun even. How about you have a look at one of those? But the best part is, of course, then when he got to looking at the ISS footage, and it was the orbital sunrise, and Antonio cannot get his head around how can the ISS be in sunshine, yet the planet is dark.
Here is the, parts of the ISS, I suppose it is, receiving illumination, even though it's in the dark side of the Earth. It's just fantastic.
Well, look, here we go, Antonio. What I'll do to answer it is I'll just give you this other little video after this. This one answers it, and this is a rocket launch. It was filmed by Red's Rhetoric, and we know it's real because there's like 6 or 7 different videos of this. I've grabbed 4, put them all together and time synced them up from different angles. So there's absolutely no doubt this is not CGI'd. It is real, and here's your answer. Notice how it's totally dark at ground level, and it's totally light up high when the rocket gets up there in the sunlight. Thanks for playing, Antonio. You gave me such a great gift. So you can see this is a rocket, right?
I don't know.
And you can see that it's going up and being launched, right?
I don't know.
And you can see how it's dark here on the ground, right?
I don't know.
And you can see how it gets light up there where the sun is, right? How is that, Antonio?
I don't know.
Antonio, you know that little downhill slope where the bus disappeared down? Well, Wolfie just taxied Wolfjet 1 right past it. And guess what? A definite downhill slope, even from the plane he can see it. Oh dear.
So I'm going to ask Wolfie to address it, please. For like the 7th or 8th time. Can you see how the moon has got a tiny little bit of illumination directly underneath it? So see, underneath the moon, there's a little bit of illumination. Here, let me make it bigger. See that little bit of illumination under the moon? That's what I'm talking about. See? Little bit of illumination. Look at that illumination making its way across. It's very interesting. Like I said, it remains unaddressed by Wolfie.
Antonio, I asked Wolfie about the little bit of moon reflection on the lower HUD thing that you have such a problem with, and it turns out it's just a little artifact from the EVS. You turn off the EVS, the little moon reflection goes away, and the moon looks perfect. So, really, it's just nothing at all, mate. Sorry, try again. Bada bing, bada boom. And just a big shout out to Rusty Walker. He has been saving me an awful lot of time, and he's really been taking it up to Antonio and giving him a hard time. So I think if you all want to see Rusty do more, you know what to do with that little sub button on Rusty's channel. I'll leave a link for his channel down in the description below too. I'm so impressed with all Antonio's work. I'm just going to go and order a Book of the Sun. What's it called? BS, I guess. Let's look under that and see if I can find it. G'day everybody, where's Wally here? Well, today it won't be pointing at stupid so much as, well, pointing at stupid people who don't like rocket launches, who think that they go up and then come straight back down again. Well, I'm going to have a look at the Atlas V on August 8, I think it was, and Red's Rhetoric has kindly let me have a play with some of his footage, and it's absolutely brilliant. I'll just play the little piece I want to look at in close detail. I'll play it a little bit quickly here, and just enjoy this for a second. Well, I said I wasn't going to play with the stupid, but then I remembered I was going to get Antonio to see if he could actually try and show us some smarts and see if he can figure out just what's going on here. So what I'll do now is I'll play that same view that we just saw, and I'll mix in a couple of other views as well, just so that we can be sure we're seeing exactly what we're seeing. Here it is.
System response looks good. 25 seconds in. R280 engine operating parameters look good. Now 35 seconds. Mach 1 Atlas V is now supersonic. Now 45 seconds in. R280 continuing to look good. Now passing through max Q. And engine throttling back up to 94% thrust. RD-180 engine operating parameters look good. Seeing good chamber pressure on all 5 SRBs, good symmetric burn. Just passing 1 minute now into flight. RD-180 continuing to look good. Also seeing good chamber pressure across all 5 SRBs. Engine now throttling down to 75% thrust as expected. Engine response looks good. Standing by for SRB burnout shortly. And we're seeing burnout on all 5 SRBs. Engine back up to full thrust. Standing by for SRB jettison. And we have good indication of jettison of all 5 solid rocket boosters, 1 minute 50 seconds into flight. Vehicle's gone to closed loop guidance. Now passing 2 minutes into flight. Atlas V is now 38 miles in altitude, 48 miles downrange distance, traveling at 4,700 miles per hour. 2 minutes 15 seconds into flight. RD-180 engine operating parameters continue to look good at full thrust. Vehicle body rates looking good. Just under 2 minutes now remaining in the boost phase of flight. Engine now throttling to maintain 2.5 G acceleration limit. Engine response and vehicle body rate response looks good. RCS pyro valve has been fired. Reaction control system is pressurizing to flight levels. Now coming up on 3 minutes into flight. RD-180 pump speeds and injector pressures continue to look good as it's maintaining that throttle limiting. 3 minutes 10 seconds in. Vehicle body rates continue to look good. Standing by for payload fairing jettison. And we have good indication of payload fairing jettison. And CFLR jettison complete as well. Vehicle now throttling back up to 95% thrust. Engine response looks good. 3 minutes, 40 seconds in. And engine is now throttling to maintain 4.6G acceleration limit. Engine response looks good. Now passing 4 minutes into flight, Centaur's begun the boost phase chill down sequence. RD-180 engine continues to look good as it maintains that 4.6G throttle acceleration limit.
So, Antonio, guru of gurus, what do you think is happening here? How can the camera, Red's camera, be on the ground at sea level and in the dark, and yet when the rocket is, 100 kilometers up, it is suddenly in full sunlight, and that is plain for all to see that it is now in full sunlight. And that can also be backed up by the video feed coming back from the rocket, but I won't bother showing you that because you'll just laugh at it. But when you look at the feeds from south and from north and from directly behind, you can see that the rocket is now clearly up in the dawn sunlight. So how on a flat earth is that going to happen, Antonio? I'd love to hear how you explain that one.
There's a pat on the head for you, Wally.